Hi, I'm Penny Jones. I'm here with Andrew Jones, Managing Director of Alquist Consulting, winner of our DatacenterDynamics Leaders Award for the Future Thinking and Design Concepts. This award recognises ideas and innovations that have helped meet the critical challenges of tomorrow's data centre. Alquist won for its Celsius high-definition energy monitoring system. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about Alquist and the Celsius monitoring system?
Sure. Celsius is a product that we've developed for the data center market that allows us to measure the temperature across the whole of the data center in high resolution. The incredible thing is that it uses a piece of fiber optic cable as a temperature sensor. Now, pretty much everyone in the data center is familiar with fiber. It's the mechanism we use to connect all the computers together, but we're able to use this fiber to measure temperature to an incredible degree of accuracy, and it seems quite incredible that you can use a technology, a bit of fiber optic, a bit of glass in such a unique way to measure temperature. Obviously, by measuring temperature, we can then allow people to manage their data center and allow the temperatures to increase, which will save a considerable amount of money.
How did the idea for Celsius actually come up, and I guess using fiber in this way?
It's a strange one. Being involved in energy efficiency of data centers is something I've been involved with for quite some time. And I came across this technology which was being used in the oil and gas industry to measure oil flows in oil wells, and it was apparent to me that this use of this technology could be taken from that industry and applied in the data center space. So we worked with a hardware partner to develop some hardware to enable us to do this in the data center.
What is Alquist's background then? You've come up with this idea.
Sure. As a background, we've been involved in IT consultancy for some time. And personally, I've been involved with the whole energy efficiency of data centers for a number of years. Energy efficiency is going to become one of the big challenges for data centers. Particularly in the UK, we've got some huge challenges around the decommissioning of our nuclear plants, our nuclear generation capacity, and this is going to put a real pressure on energy costs over the next 5 or 10 years. Enormous pressure. 20% of our capacity is disappearing, for example.
So it was really just one of those great ideas that you had that you saw through to fruition, would you say?
I think it's a coincidence of a great idea and the timing of this. Energy, I think, in data centers is going to become one of our biggest issues that need to be managed.
How did you find entering a new market? I mean, you've come from a consulting background,
Yep.
then having to design a piece of technology and take it out there and take it to market and find the expertise behind it. What was your process for that?
It's interesting. It's an area that we've been involved with for some time, so it's a market that we know pretty well already. But you're right, it is a completely novel piece of technology that we're bringing to the market. I think the interesting thing has been that the technology we're using is kind of familiar to everybody. A bit of fiber optics, everybody knows what that is. And I think that works well in our favour, because although it's a brand new application, people kind of understand the underlying technology. So when we show them something new that they can do with the fiber, it's a bit of a surprise, I think, for most people. But once we show them the technology, I think they're genuinely impressed that we can use fiber optics to measure temperature so accurately.
What are the real benefits then of using fiber optics? I mean, there's a lot of growth in the area of monitoring and measuring at the moment, and a lot of products coming out.
There is. The advantage really of fiber is that we can run one continuous piece of fiber up to 16 kilometers in length through the data center. And rather remarkably, we can measure the temperature at 2-meter intervals down the entire length of that fiber. So with 16 kilometers, we can have up to 8,000 measurements. Now, in a normal data center, you wouldn't need anything like that number of measurements, but the systems that are out there at the moment tend to make spot measurements. So we'll have a couple of measurements, perhaps at the end of each row. With our system, we can measure the entire data center, and not just at individual key points, but across the whole of the data center. And we can measure that all in real time, so we can see in real time what the temperature is. So
does that mean that every bit of that fibre cable is essentially active?
Indeed.
So to speak?
We're measuring the temperature let's say every minute. We're measuring 8,000 measurements every minute, and we can display that in real time. A lot of the other systems are kind of spot sensors that have to be manually downloaded. We can do it all every minute.
Are you only using this for the data center industry, or is it?
Well, it's a very interesting point, because we're targeting the data center market because it's a market that we know really quite well. But the applications for this technology are just huge. There are many, many applications outside the data center. We'll deal with the data center this week, and then we'll deal with those other markets later.
Sounds like a Dragon's Den winner.
Absolutely, let's hope so.
What has the take-up of this product been? Have you got working with any companies or case studies you can share?
I don't want to talk about the details of the companies because I haven't got that in writing with them, but we've got some pilot projects in the UK. We've deployed the system. We've got also some applications of the software outside the data center. The actual technology itself is well tried and tested. It's been used for over 7 or 8 years. Mm-hmm. So the hardware itself is a well-proven technology.
Excellent. So the Data Center Leaders Awards, what inspired you to enter this year's awards then?
It was I think I was one of the first people to enter the awards. It seemed to me that this was a target market, the sort of people that come along to your events. It was exactly the right target market for the sort of product we were offering. And I think from a technology perspective, the solution we've got is really quite unique, and it seemed ideally suited to your awards, so I decided to enter.
Do you think your winning the awards this year sort of really shows what the market is going through, or highlights the challenges that the European market has at the moment?
I think particularly energy efficiency. I think energy efficiency at the moment is a little bit hidden as an issue, but I think over the next few years it's going to become huge. And I think the timing of this product, the timing of this technology is perfect.
And moving forward, how do you think the Data Center Leaders Award will actually help Alquist? Yeah.
I hope it'll give us an opportunity to explain the technology. I think it's a great bit of technology, really quite simple. I think that's perhaps one of the other reasons that we were lucky enough to win, because it is a fundamentally very simple technology. I hope that it'll give us the opportunity to explain this technology and to bring to the attention of your customers the issues of energy efficiency and how big an issue that's going to become over the next 5 or 10 years.